Palmisano joins us right now. He's down in New Orleans. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Brian. Privileged to be with you.
Okay, Brian's busy. It's Steve who's talking to you right now.
Steve, they told me it would be Brian. I'm sorry. I should know your voice from being on the program before. I'm so sorry about that, Steve.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
So you went to Capitol Hill. Did you guys were you guys wearing the lab coats like the doctors were a couple of weeks ago for that press conference?
Some of us did. We brought our own lab coats. Mine had my name on it, and but we wanted to give a second opinion. We agreed with the president's comment that people trust their doctors, and we should listen to the doctors. Well, we are also doctors, and we represent 10,000 physicians in the Coalition to Protect Patients' Rights. We also have the immediate past president of the Medical Association of Georgia. They have a coalition of state specialty societies. They have 47,000 physicians who agree with the position that we're taking. So what we want to do is see the patient in control. We don't want any more government options.
All right. In fact, you've got 5 tips for U.S. lawmakers who are considering health care reform right now. First of all, the U.S. has the best health care in the world, you'd say. Scrap the public option is number 2. Also, no cuts to Medicare. This is of great interest to people who are older, and expand the market, not the government. And finally, cut costs with tort reform. There's so many things we can talk about, but let's talk about number 2 here. Scrap the public option. You know, Doctor, it appears, if you believe what you read from some of the insiders on Capitol Hill, is that the public option is actually gaining steam. So this could be going exactly against what you would like.
Well, again, you know, one person in the right is a majority, and what we need to do is, as far as the polls go, there are all types of polls, push polls, and so on. What we need to do is make sure the American public understands what this means. And so instead of the public option, the government option, instead of giving more competition, what it will do is run the private insurers out of business. Now, the private insurers, we need to make them more competitive, and the way we do that is to buy across state lines, allow people to own their own insurance, allow them to make the choice, just like the people in Congress have. They don't want to give that plan up to go on Medicaid. We're going to end up with Medicaid for all, and we will end up with long lines and rationing. Remember, if you pay people less than the cost of delivering the service, you end up with loss of the service, and that's what happens with Medicaid.
Sure, and your final tip was to cut the costs with a medical malpractice reform. The problem is, Doctor, you know, it's almost as if the White House has cut a sweetheart deal with trial lawyers and lawyers as well, because they've taken it off the table. We've talked that they've cut a deal with Big Pharma and some hospitals, but they haven't cut a deal with you, but they have given the lawyers a pass this go around.
Well, I teach at Tulane Med School a course, Leadership in Medicine, based on my book, and what I tell the medical students, SECC, S-E-C-C, science, ethics, compassion, and courage, do what's in the patient's best interest and with the patient's informed consent. And the scheme that they're coming forth, the plans that are coming out of Congress, the House, and the Senate, those don't fit with that. And that's why I'm speaking up. That's why the other doctors are speaking up. What we want to do is have the patient be able to make the choice, allow people to get tax credits, allow people to own the insurance.
All right. Doctor, I know you've had a very busy 24 hours going to Washington and back home to New Orleans. We thank you very much for joining us today with you a second opinion.
Thanks a lot. Privileged to be with you all. Thanks a lot.